We are now going to work with something else. We're going to go to the second artboard, which is the dish. Just when you thought you had everything figured out, we're going to throw in the curvature tool. The curvature tool is right below your pen tool in the toolbar. It's got a real odd shortcut key, which is the shift and that little squiggly thing that's on your keyboard. I don't remember what it is, but it's the key right before the exclamation point. So you have to hold down your shift key and that to get to it. It's easier for me to just click in the toolbar. And we're going to work with the curvature tool while we create this dish. So we're in the number 2 artboard, which is the dish, and looking at the template, you can see you have a vertical red dashed line here that is running through point from A to I. That's what that is. That is like a halfway, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to draw half of the dish and then we're going to reflect it across the red dotted line and then join those two halves together. So we're going to pick up that curvature tool and click on the blue square. And what the curvature tool does, you can draw and you can edit paths, and you can do this visually to create paths with smooth, refined curves and straight lines. So it's kind of taken the pen tool to a different level. So we're going to first click the blue square. Okay, now we're going to go to B. And when you click on B, before you click on B, you're going to hold down your shift key and you're going to click on B. That set the straight line. Release your shift key and now move down from B. Oh, you see the line, but you also see the Bezier curve, okay? And we see a preview of the curve before we click on it. It creates anchor points where you click, and the drawing curve is going to flex around those points dynamically. So the direction handles are created when they are needed to curve the path for you. Now, right now, if you were going to click in this instant, the curve preview that we see is going to become the drawn path. Press the shift key again, and now point to letter C to align the anchor points B and C. Release the shift key after clicking, okay, and take a look at the new curve path. The point, if you hover that pointer over point B, you're going to get the pointer with that little circle below it. Double click on this, it's going to convert this to a sharp corner. So you get a corner point, and by double clicking, it converts it to the corner point. It has the effect of splitting the direction handles for the point. Hover the pointer over point D and click to select the next point, and now your line is going to run through B to C, but it's going to curve and follow the path that we wanted. So now the path curves both before and after point C. Take your anchor point, or take your pointer rather, over anchor point D, and when you get that change to the corner where you get the little circle down there with the dot in it, double click. That's going to set the point to a corner point. Now we're going to go down and shift click on E to select that point. Now the path didn't follow the dotted line this time, but as you draw with the curvature tool, you can go back and make corrections and add and delete points and then continue drawing. So now if you go over the path between D and E, if you get a plus sign, As soon as you can get that plus sign up, you're going to click on that and drag that out to create a point and curve the path. So you're going to click and drag out to match the template. Now, Option click on your Mac or Alt click back on point F, and you're going to see that the E now is curved. Well, we didn't want that curved, so now we're going to go back to Option click on point E. Hold down your Option key, Alt key again, and click on E, and that converts that back to the sharp curve. When you Option click, when you create a point, you will create a corner point instead of the default smooth point. Okay, so now you're going to Shift click on G to make a straight line down. Now we're going to click on H, which is going to be a curved point. I is going to be a curved point. Hit your escape key to stop drawing. Okay. Ooh, that's a new thing, huh? Getting your escape key to stop drawing. Now you can go to select. Come on, select. Oh, release that. Select and deselect. And now we have the half of the ice cream scoop. We're going to make a copy of that. We're going to reflect it, and we're going to join the two halves together to make a nice symmetrical ice cream dish. So we did, remember in lesson 4, we transformed, we did some reflecting in that. So we're going to pick up the direction tool, or the direct select tool rather, or selection tool rather. We're going to click on that. Oh, before we do that, now I take that back. We're going to get the direct select tool, click on anchor point A, and click on I, shift click. Okay, we're selecting those two items. And we're going to click the horizontal align center because we have to make sure that they're perfectly aligned up. Horizontally align center. Okay, that way we know that those points are exactly lined up with each other and to the center of the board. Now we'll go back and pick up the selection tool, and as soon as we select it, it should, well, actually it may not get the whole thing. We're going to deselect and then click back on it to select everything. Now go to View, turn your Smart Guides back on, and with your pointer over the Rotate tool, click the Rotate tool, hold down, and get your Reflect tool. And if we show the layers, let's go to Layers now. Click the eye icon to the left of Template. That's going to hide the template, so all we see is the outline. And with your pointer, you're going to go over the very last anchor point at the bottom. And when the word anchor appears, I want you to Alt-click on that. That's setting your anchor point and where you're going to do your duplication from. In your Reflect dialog box, if it doesn't come up with vertical, select vertical. And now click Copy. You get the 2 points together. Now, if you do Command or Control and J, this is a shortcut to join. It should join the two halves together in a closed path. It didn't. So we're going to have to undo Controls. Oh, as soon as I undo, it looks like they're joined. I only have 2. So I'm going to do a different method. I'm going to click and select and join those points together. I just drug through the top, and I'm going to go Object and Path and Join. And then I'm going to select the bottom paths. They should be on top of each other. And I'm going to go Object, Path, Join. Now if I use my, oh, there it is. It's one continuous path, so I'm good with that. Okay, now we're going to do some editing. And what we're going to do next is we're going to adjust some of the curves. So deselect, and by clicking off, now pick up your direct selection tool and select those 2 points. There we go. We've selected the bottom of the base of the bowl. And we've gotten now our live widgets here, live corner widgets. And with both of those points selected, we can edit the radius of one that's going to automatically do the other one because we're using that live corner widget. So we want to drag that widget to the right, grabbing the right one. If you're working with the left, you're going to drag to the left. You want to change this radius about just under 1/4 of an inch. So drag out with the live widget until you get somewhere around 0.2 inch. It doesn't need to be exact. And release the mouse button. Now you can go to View and your guides, Smart Guides, and turn off your Smart Guides again because you don't want them to, you don't want anything to be snapping to anything while we go back and edit the ice cream. Go back now and View to your ice cream again, and we're going to do some editing on the ice cream layer, or the ice cream shape, I should say, with the direct selection tool selected. You're going to click. Now this is the direct selection tool, not the select tool. You can click to select the path, and you're going to see all of the anchor points. So because you want to be able to see the handles for the line segments that you adjust. If you do the selection tool, you're going to get the whole path. Now, find J right here. Okay, so click on that, and you're going to see the direction lines that are associated with that. I'm going to turn off, well, I wonder if I should turn off the template. Yeah, let me turn off the template so that you can see this a little bit better. Now we're going to move this point down a little bit. So drag the point until it's a little bit lower. We don't want that quite up so high. The point is going to be filled because that's the one we selected. You can also use your arrow keys. So maybe if I drag it down a little too far, I want to drop it, take it up, I'll hit my arrow key a couple of times. If I do my shift key while I'm using my arrow key, it's going to multiply the amount of movement by 10 times. Click the layers panel to show the layer, and click the eye icon next to template. Oh, I was supposed to hide it anyway. And then I don't need to worry about that. But with the direct selection tool, I want to go over the path over here, click to select that path, and you see that my pointer changes, and it's got that little curved line underneath it with the arrows. That means that I can drag the path to adjust the anchor points as I drag. If I click and drag this anchor point up and a little bit to the left, I can change the angle and change the whole curve. Everything changes to match with it. As you drag it, you'll see the direction handles change, and it's a real easy way to make edits to a path. So if you want to do the direction handles, you can use the direction handles by clicking and dragging on the points on those. So after you've made any adjustments that you want to, all you need to do is click off to the side to deselect, go to File, and Save.